Hey guys. So I wanted to come on here and talk about gig work. I know that we live in a world where 9 to 5 just ain't cutting it. I mean, to be honest, gig work ain't cutting it. But it's not 9 to 5. And it's a way to help supplement when you ain't got enough to get by. So I started gig work, like serious gig work, probably like 2 to 3 years ago. I was in human resources for somewhere between like 15 to 18 years. I mean, my math ain't mathing right now, but it's been a long time in corporate America. And I ended up quitting my job. Well, I demoted myself, then I quit. So what had happened was, in May of 21, Cameron, who is my oldest, my 18-year-old, he had brain surgery. Now we were supposed to spend 2 weeks in the hospital, and we ended up spending 2 months in the hospital. So your girl was not financially, mentally, physically ready for none of that. I initially took off, I think, a month of work under my FMLA. And when I realized that, because that was going to be my 2 weeks in the hospital, 2 weeks at home, then get my ass back to work. But Cameron suffered a blood clot. So I knew something was wrong. So, okay, backstory. Cameron, my baby, he has cerebral palsy, epilepsy. He suffered a seizure, what I noticed to be a seizure at 6 weeks old. But little did I know, once we got him all tested, that he'd been having them since he was in the womb. So he suffered a stroke in the womb. Really, like, who's thinking about that kind of stuff? Undetected by ultrasounds, doctor's visits, all that stuff. So he came out perfectly normal. Pregnancy was beautiful. Labor and delivery was a breeze. And he was perfect when he came out. I didn't notice anything weird. Of course, he's doing all these little baby kicks and ticks and things, and I'm thinking, just baby movements. You're still mentally in the womb, so you're just punching and kicking like you normally would. But at 6 weeks, when he had a seizure, I was like, this is not a joke. Eyes were rolling in the back of his head, lips were purple, all that good stuff. So here we are, his lifetime. He's had seizures. He was diagnosed with Lennox-Gastaut, which just means that his seizures come in different phases. They look different as he ages. And they change. So there's really no medicinal way to eradicate them. He has good days, he has bad days, and it's another video. But hospital. We did brain surgery because we did a VNS, vagus nerve stimulator, where he has a device right over his heart that has leads that go through the vagus nerve in your neck, stimulates the brain. It's on a continuous cycle to do that. I also have a magnet that you swipe when he has a seizure, but that shit don't work. He's had it for 10 years. We just got the battery replaced in January of this year. So he's had it going on 11 years now, and it hasn't stopped. The seizures anyway. So again, brain surgery. That was the first option, but I went with the VNS because I was like, I don't want to put my baby through that. He doesn't need it. Anyway, blood clot. So he has a seizure, surgery on Friday, another surgery on Sunday. So all day Saturday, he kept having really bad seizures. And I'm like, something is not right. But again, he was known to have seizures. It just looked painful. He's never really given facial grimaces to express pain before. So I knew that he was extremely uncomfortable. I told the doctors, and he was squeezing my hand too, like, mom, help me. And my child's nonverbal. So when I see these signs, I tell the doctor. Thankfully, I didn't get no pushback. They immediately took my baby for a CT scan, and came back, and they saw the blood clot. So they rushed him to emergency surgery, and that's when our 2-week stay went to 2 months, because when he first came out, he was fine. He just looks like he was sleeping, oxygen and tape, like nothing major. But when he came back from that second surgery, I knew that we were in for a bumpy one. He was intubated, and he had tubes out of his head, drainage tubes, 2 of them. He had EEG leads all over his head, and he just looked like he was doped to the gods. Like, what? Anyway, I always get teary when I talk about my baby. So, anyway, go back to work. I'm sorry, in the hospital 2 months. Go back to work a month after leaving the hospital. So that's 3 months out of work. So that's 3 months of no pay. 3 months of me trying to figure out how to pay my rent. I did have some help from friends and family. And then it was a social worker in the hospital who gave me this program, or told me about this program to help pay for rent. So I got 1 month of rent, and then she hooked me up with a $300 gift card while I was in the hospital to help me pay me for food and, you know, whatever other bills I needed. So she was a blessing. And shout out to the friends and family that did donate during that time. Anywho, get back to home, get back to work. I'm like, this 40 hours I can't. Cameron came back a whole different kid. He couldn't walk, he couldn't sit up, he was not eating. He got a G-tube while we were in the hospital. July 4th weekend is he's completely stopped eating. He was doing a lot of vomiting. Why am I this? I didn't mean to start this telling the story for gig work, but this kind of gives the backstory of why I started gig work. I couldn't keep up with him. I ended up getting a male nurse because Cameron had to be carried everywhere. Cameron at the time, maybe 5'6", maybe 120 pounds. He is now 5'9", 150 pounds. So he is my size, my height, less 30 pounds. And I ended up demoting myself. Well, first I reduced my hours from 40 to 30. That took away my benefits. And then when that was still too much, I demoted myself and asked to be removed to like customer service, where I didn't have as much heavy load on me for work, but then get to customer service and they're super dumb fast paced. And I was like, I can't keep up with you guys. I was the oldest on the team and I just felt out of place. So then I was like, you know what? I gotta pause. I gotta step back. I was talking to my boyfriend. He was like, why don't you just quit your job? At the time, he was working 2 full-time jobs, so money wasn't an issue. So I was like, you know what? Let me step back. Let me focus on my notary signing career and get that business popping, because I want to be my own boss. At this point, a 9-to-5 is not conducive to my lifestyle, right? So got that started, got my LLC, did all the good stuff. And it just didn't go anywhere because I couldn't go anywhere. You know, Cameron took up way more time than I thought I was going to have to provide. And the nurse only came, you know, a few hours in the evening because he was still going to school. It was in a life skills program. So when he come home from school at 3, the nurse showed up at 3:30 and then left at, I think, 8. So it gave me some time, but not a lot of time, to be able to get out and do. But yeah, it just didn't kick up, and you know, I started falling behind on my bills because, again, I'm sorry, boyfriend didn't tell me to quit my job. I was in my own apartment at that time. We had split up. I was in my own apartment, but because I was losing hours, I was also losing money. So I had to get out of my lease early. Then I moved back in with baby daddy. And a few months after that, that's when I quit my job. I was like, I can't do it. This is too much. Cameron was, again, he was throwing up. He was still having seizures. This G-tube thing, he was on 20 hours continued feed. It is a lot for your girl. And it was a whole new world because he still wasn't walking. You know, he still was, at that point, needing to be, if not wheelchaired around the house, carried. And I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. And then I have another kid, my other son. And then my boyfriend has 2 daughters. So, and then we have a dog. Now we have 2. So it's busy. And I'm like, I just can't. I can't do all this. I'm not sleeping. I don't eat well. And I look like shit all the time. And I can't keep doing this. So he said, why don't you just quit your job? I got us for now. So I said, bet. By the time I get my company rolling, I'll be working. Didn't work out that way. Yes, I still do notary signing agent work. It's not the only thing I do. I started working for a photographer out in Ohio. I found a job on Indeed. It's commission only. So if I don't sell, I don't get paid. It's a very nice commission if I make a booking. But again, it's sales. So you have good days, you have bad days. And that kind of comes and goes. So then I started doing Uber Eats and DoorDash and Roadie and Amazon Flex. Your girl does it all. They're all downloaded on my phone. And to this day, I do all of those because I still do not have a 9 to 5. My son lost his nurse that we had for the past year. She was amazing, loved her, but the school district stole her from me. They saw what a good job she was doing with Cameron, and they were like, we want you to be a floater for the school district. Now in Texas, we have, like, I'm in Katy ISD, there's Houston ISD, Fort Bend ISD, all these ISDs, depending on what county you live in. So Katy ISD was like, we want you. So they offered her a lot more money and flexibility to hop from school to school and, you know, be with different kids often. So of course I'd have took that job too. So no harm there, miss her to death. And I'm just now getting another nurse. Take some time to get acquainted and acclimated with the process of Cameron because it's a lot. So when I can get gigs, I take them. Like this morning, I had a signing. It was supposed to be at 1. The guy called me at 11 and was like, can you come now? So this is how I came out of the house because you called me 2 hours too soon. I just finished breakfast. And I told him that. I'm like, I can come. I can be there, but you're not about to get professionals in. Not today. It's Saturday on top of that. And you called me 2 hours early. So while I was out, I did my errands. And I'm getting ready to do some crochet. I just picked up some 99J in this fluffy wand. I've never done fluffy wand, but I always have a curl. I got a big head. So, well, a big forehead. So I like big fluffy hair that kind of covers that. And I think it just looks good on me. I have been a blonde, well, I've been OT 27, for my girls who know, for the past 2 months. Before that, I was OT 30. And then I'll do like a 1B or 2. But today is 99J. I have done it in the past, just not with this curl. And I'm gonna do that. Now I do not know how to cornroll. I flat twist. I don't know if I'm gonna show y'all all that. But for the girls who can't braid, flat twisting is always an option, okay? It does not have to be perfect. I've tried the buns in the back, just to kind of do a slick down bun and do it that way. I'm a back sleeper, like I have a bun now. I would never go to sleep with this bun in my head. And when you do it that way, that hurts. So no thank you to that. But yeah, today or tomorrow is wash day. And then I'm gonna install. I might show you the pictures of once my install is in, because my hair needs a therapist. Like my hair is, whew, it's stressed. And it's been stressed for so long. I used to be in love with my hair, like 2014. I think 2015 was the last year my hair looked good, healthy. Hasn't been healthy since. So if my hair is not in a bun, which is also breaking off my hair, then it's in a weave because I don't have time for my hair, which is why it looks the way it does. I also don't have a stylist. I need somebody in my hair who can take care of my hair for me because I'm not good at it. The stress of my life, I can't. I don't have the patience to get through it. I rush through it. It's so broken. My hair is like down to here maybe, but you can see straight through that shit. Like if I was to hold it out, you can see the HEB story back there through my hair. That's how thin it is. But you can't tell when you look at it, but once you break it down. And I got that old school hair back like in the 90s. If you like put your head down and your hair go with you, it doesn't like fall to your neck. Like, so my hair moves. It just kind of, it flaps. It don't blow in the wind. Unless I get a silk press. If I go to the shop and get it done, which has been over a year for that. But yeah, my hair is damaged. Anyway, gig work, it helps. It supplements. It allows me to do things. I don't pay bills, thank God, that I am in a position where the man of the house can take care of the large bills while I get my life together. Now, are we on time every month? Fuck no, but it gets paid. with 4 mouths to feed, a college tuition, and 2 dogs to take care of, and in a semi-expensive neighborhood, it's stressful. But we get it done. I help where I can. But for all of those who are trying to find something to do, gig work. Get out there, get in your car, move around. It might take you a few hours to make $100, all day to make $100, depending on which avenue you choose. But Amazon Flex is a real good one too. You got to go out there for 3 hours, deliver packages. You might get $72. Roadie is good. You can do CVS deliveries. You can do home, not HEB, Home Depot, Lowe's. You can, if you have a truck. I have an SUV, so I can fit large items. I've done Discount Tire before, where I've had 4 big ass tires in the back of my truck, taking them to another Discount Tire. So there are options. And of course, there's YouTube, which is what I'm doing now. I got to do something else. Even if this does not monetize me, it's therapeutic for me to get things off of my chest. When you don't have anybody to talk to, you talk to your damn self, and then you can figure it out. Because when you speak out loud, it kind of puts things in perspective. You get some clarity on it. You talk yourself through it. Understand things a little bit better. That's about it for me today. It's been 16 minutes, so I don't want to keep y'all too long in my rant. But the topic was gig work, and I got on so many different things because that's how my brain works. I literally would start here and finish somewhere else. But I tried to circle back. Hopefully this helps someone who is looking for something to do. Because not everybody wants to get on and upload themselves to a global platform. I'm scared shitless. I'm going to do it anyway, whether you watch me or not. This is helping me. So if this helps you, good. If not, it's damn sure helping me. And I hope you guys have a great day. It is cold. It's cold-ish. It was cold this morning. It's warming up here in Houston, and I hate this bipolar ass weather. Like, I'm dressed for the cold. I want it to stay cold. Don't start at 50 and then end up at 75 at 3 o'clock, because right now it's 61. When I left the house, it was 52. So, with that said, I'm ready to go home and eat some more leftovers from Thanksgiving, because I can do that for a few days. And yeah, which I mentioned in my last video. I can do that shit for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But today I had Chick-fil-A for breakfast. I'm about to go fuck up some Thanksgiving food right now. Yeah, I think that's all. My next video might be my hair. We'll see. Ooh, this hat is so vintage. This is older than my son. This is gonna be like a 20-year-old hat. It is two-tone. I don't know if you can tell, but it's black here, and then it's like brown here and up top because of all the sun damage. I don't even know why it's so black here and not the same color. But yeah, baby, vintage. Like me. Later.